The Salvation Army, doing the most good. We're very familiar with that particular slogan. And you may be familiar with this young man to my left, Major John Edmonds. Major, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Good Morning Enid. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And thank you for being here in Enid, Oklahoma. Tell us about your role as Major for the Salvation Army.
Well, thank you very much. It's very nice to be here. My role as the Salvation Army, I am the minister of the Salvation Army for Enid, but I also am the administrator for all the programs that we provide for the Enid community in social services and sheltering and feeding programs.
And you're used to wearing several hats in a previous life, so no big deal, right?
Yes, sir. That's right.
Very good. So I moved here 5 years ago, or 6 years ago, here to Enid. The Salvation Army was obviously here by then. But can you tell us a little bit about how did Salvation Army make it to Enid?
Well, I will tell you, in 1880, the Salvation Army came from London, England, to Battery Park in New York. And in 1896, I guess, the land rush of Oklahoma, a Salvation Army officer came and he stood on the back of a wagon and he preached the gospel and he wanted to serve people. So we've been here ever since the land run.
So how did you end up in Enid?
I came here by way of Florida. I transferred
Makes sense.
transferred from Tampa, Florida, where I was stationed at the headquarters there for the state of Florida, and did that in June.
Can you kind of tell us how it works? Is sometimes, you know, before the show we were talking about how Methodist ministers and other ministers move from church to church. How does that work within the Salvation Army?
About every 3 or 4 years, they will transfer us, and sometimes you get caught up in the mix. If they make a move here, someone's special gifts are needed somewhere else, then they have to move somebody into that spot, and other times they're specifically moving you to a location.
That almost sounds like the game of checkers. You move one here, and somebody moves
That's right.
something like that.
So many of our viewers are pretty familiar with this red kettle that we have back here, and we kind of want to know a little history about it. What can you tell us about that red kettle?
I can tell you that about 100 years ago, it started in San Francisco. There was a Salvation Army officer there who remembered the Simpson pot, and so he said, well, we needed to feed these people who were on the ships. They were stranded. It was Christmas time, so he put out a big pot, and he said, fill up the pot. And so passerbys would come by and put in their pennies, their dimes, or nickels, whatever they had, to help those who were hungry, who were homeless, and that's how it began.
For, I guess the past 20 years, I've been involved in ringing the bell personally for the Salvation Army during Christmas time. And my wife has helped at different times. So sometimes when you see the red kettle, Salvation Army, Christmas time, it's very much, you know, synonymous with that. Through a service club, I was able to participate, but if somebody's watching the show this morning, Major, and they said, you know, I want to get my family out, and maybe we could, as a family, ring the bell. Is that possible?
It is
Or what
possible.
are the options for people who want to help?
Well, if
to
they
ring
can
the bell.
They can call us at the Salvation Army, 237-1910, and we'll be glad to schedule a time and a place for them to ring. We'll give them the equipment and our appreciation.
Before Sarah has her next question for you regarding ringing the bell, you mentioned earlier off camera there's like 20 locations at one given time. What are some of those locations that people just be mindful of that we need to stop by and put some money in at the kettle?
We are at the Walmarts, the Walmart Neighborhood Market, Jumbo Foods, United Foods, Kmart, Hobby Lobby, many stores, Walgreens, and we encourage you to stop by and put a nickel in.
I think the common theme with those locations is high traffic.
That's right.
A lot of people coming in and out of that grocery store. So.
That's right.
That's true. So a little earlier, Steve asked me about the Angel Tree Project. He was trying to test me on my knowledge, but I didn't want to rob you from the opportunity to share and educate us on that. So I couldn't share too much. But can you tell us about this project?
Sure.
Very good, Sarah. Very good.
What the Angel Tree program is about children receiving some type of Christmas. There are so many underprivileged children in our community who needs a little bit of help at Christmas time. Santa can only do so much. Parents can only do so much. And so the communities, we ask for their help to raise money to help a child. They can go to a tree, take an angel off, go to a store, buy a gift for that child, bring it to us, and we will distribute it to the parents.
And can you tell us a little bit of where are these trees located? Where can we find these trees?
I tell you, if you go to Oakwood Mall, you'll find our Angel Tree location. We have a Spruce Up A Life. You'll see all the beautiful trees that are there, families that are adopted, to trees, to gifts, everything go to the family. Businesses and individuals have purchased these trees and the gifts, and then there's individual gifts for children that are not on those trees that are purchased, and they can bring the gifts there. It can be bicycles, toys, whatever it may be.
Our very special guest this morning on Good Morning Enid is Major John Edmonds of the Salvation Army here in Enid, Oklahoma. A couple of years ago, I was enlightened to the fact that when we think of Christmas time, we think of toys, but the awareness was raised to me of the need for 12, 13, 14, 15-year-old young women, young men, of the need for items, not necessarily toys, but Christmas items. I was just so focused on toys and really forgot about the teenager, if you will. But I understand you have a program called Silver Bells, and that addresses another, I guess, demographic and an age group. Tell us about Silver Bells.
Well, Silver Bells is for our seniors in the community, those who may be shut in, may be alone, may not have very many resources. And so we put them on our silver tree. It's actually a silver tree at the mall. And people can take those names just like they would a child's, Angel, and they can go out and buy practical things for them. It could be socks, it could be scarves, it might be a gift card to a grocery store or something like that.
John, how important is, say, the Red Kettle and the money that is given during December? Because the other 11 months of the year, the Salvation Army is either taking care of people during hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, and the list goes on. So I guess it's crucial to receive funds to help with other events through the year, right?
Yes, it is.
Because it's not all about ringing the bell at Christmas time. It's about meeting people's needs through the year.
Yes, it is. It's very vital that we, this is our main fundraising time of the year. And so not only does it help at Christmas time, but it will go in through March or April. Some of the funds that we receive for emergency assistance could be utility assistance, it could be groceries, it could be a meal. We serve 50 to 90 meals daily, every day of the year. And so that's where those funds will go to.
That's very good, very good. So I know I mentioned earlier that I'm looking forward to starting a new tradition with my little one, going out to the mall and picking up a name for him to give something to someone that's in need. What are other ways that we can help Salvation Army?
There's all kinds of volunteer opportunities. You can come to our pantry and help with our grocery program there. You can stock the shelves. You can come to our thrift store and help and volunteer there even. Those funds are used to put back into our sheltering program. You can help with our shelter. People can keep their little shampoos that they receive at hotels, and they can send them to us, and we'll give them to the homeless, to those that may need a shower. We have a shower ministry that people can come in and just take a shower to clean up if they have no running water and electricity. You know.
Well, Major John, we are just really honored and appreciative for you to be with us here on Good Morning Enid. And we have a few minutes here, and I just kind of want to give you the platform, if you will. We've talked about, Sarah and I have talked about a variety of things, and you've graciously, expanded upon the mission of Salvation Army. But here's just a platform, an opportunity for you to speak to the folks watching this morning and about anything that's on your heart that can help you and what your ministry is all about here in the Salvation Army in Enid.
Well, thank you so much. And I do want to thank the people of Enid. You are a compassionate people. We have seen that. We have seen that in our Kettles with the money that you have dropped in. We have seen that at our Angel Tree program. The warehouse, the toys are coming. The warehouse is filling up. We have the trees, the Spruce Up A Life, where someone can, an agency, an individual, a church can buy a tree for $75 and then buy gifts for that family, the father, the mother, and all the children. And they take the trees. UPS will come and pick up the trees and deliver them to the home. So I do thank Enid, I thank the people of Enid for your heart of compassion that you have for one another.
Very good. And did we have the number on the screen probably during the visit? Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Ben. So 580-237-1910, that's a good number. That's a working number.
It is.
And you call that number and you can help out. So, and again, in answer to Sarah's question, go to the Oakwood Mall, find the Angel Tree, and can you kind of just share with us how many opportunities are on that tree? Are there 25, 50, 100? Or?
I sure can. There are 750 children on those trees. There are 150 seniors on the silver tree. And so there are many people who are in need and many people who are helping those people.
I appreciate you sharing that number because I think sometimes not in Enid, Oklahoma, You know,
Right,
when you
right.
say that number, not here,
Right.
somewhere else. So I appreciate you raising that up. All right, Major John Edmonds. Major, bless you. Thank you for the work that you're doing, and thanks you for being on our show today. This is really good.